every morning decides whether your kidneys live or die. Sounds dramatic, doesn't it? But for millions of people walking around with rising creatinine or silent kidney damage, that innocent-looking fruit could be the difference between health and dialysis. I'm Dr. Mark Ellis, and today I need you to forget everything you think you know about healthy eating, because the truth hiding behind your breakfast bowl might shock you. We've been told that fruit is nature's gift, pure, clean, full of vitamins. But what if I told you that for someone with even the slightest kidney weakness, that same healthy fruit could silently poison your system? You wouldn't feel pain. You wouldn't notice symptoms. But every sweet bite could be pushing your kidneys closer to failure without you ever realizing it. The danger is real, and it's silent. Because when your kidneys begin to weaken, they lose their ability to filter minerals like potassium and phosphorus. These minerals start building up in your blood, and that invisible buildup is what turns something as innocent as a banana or an orange into a hidden threat. Most people never realize it until it's too late, until swelling, fatigue, and lab results reveal what's been happening underneath for years. But here's the good news. This silent damage doesn't have to end in dialysis. Today I'm going to show you the truth that most doctors never have time to explain: which fruits are quietly hurting your kidneys, which ones are healing them, and how one simple change in what you eat could literally save your kidneys from collapsing. So before you take another bite of that healthy fruit, stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll never look at your breakfast the same way again. You know what's ironic? The very fruits we call healthy are the ones silently overloading your kidneys every single morning. Bananas, oranges, melons, sweet, juicy, colorful. They look innocent, don't they? But for someone whose kidneys are even slightly struggling, they can be the start of a quiet disaster. I once had a patient, David, 58 years old. Every morning he blended a banana, some orange slices, and half a melon. He thought he was doing everything right. He jogged, he avoided red meat, he barely touched salt. But when his blood tests came back, his creatinine had jumped, and his doctor was puzzled. The truth was hiding in that glass of healthy fruit. Here's what most people never hear: when your kidneys begin to weaken, they can't remove potassium efficiently. That excess potassium builds up in the blood like slow-burning poison. The condition is called hyperkalemia, and it doesn't come with a warning light. You feel fine until your heart rhythm suddenly changes. One medium banana contains about 420 milliliters of potassium. One orange adds 240 milliliters more. For a damaged kidney, that's like pouring fuel on a dying engine. Science has shown that even mild potassium overload increases the risk of heart arrhythmias by 37% in people with reduced kidney function. That's not a theory. That's data from real-world studies. And yet you won't feel a thing while it's happening. That's what makes it terrifying. It moves in silence. Now think about this. We're taught to count calories, not minerals. Nobody tells you that potassium can be as dangerous as sugar when your kidneys are weak. It's not about eliminating fruit. It's about knowing which ones your body can still handle safely. But here's where things start to get even more unsettling. Because potassium isn't the only hidden threat inside that healthy fruit. There's another element, sweeter, subtler, and far more destructive than most people realize. And just knowing about potassium isn't enough, because the next factor I'm about to reveal is even more dangerous. But potassium isn't the only danger hiding in your fruit bowl. There's something far more deceptive, something that hides behind the word natural. I'm talking about fructose, the simple fruit sugar that can quietly scar your kidneys from the inside out. You see, when fructose enters the bloodstream, it doesn't behave like regular sugar. It goes straight to the liver, triggering a chemical chain reaction called glycation. Think of it as sugar glue, tiny, sticky molecules that latch onto your proteins, and blood vessels, making them stiff, inflamed, and fragile. Over time, those damaged vessels feed directly into your kidneys, choking off the tiny filters that keep your blood clean. The more often this happens, the faster creatinine rises, and the slower your filtration rate becomes. I'll never forget a woman named Susan, a retired nurse who came to me convinced she was eating clean. Every morning, she drank a tall glass of fresh orange juice and snacked on dried mango through the day. It's natural sugar, she said, it can't hurt. But her lab results told another story. Her creatinine climbed, her blood sugar spiked, and her kidneys were drowning in silent inflammation. What she thought was health was actually a slow-motion injury. Here's the part. No one talks about a single cup of fruit juice can hit your bloodstream with as much sugar as a can of soda. Without fiber to slow absorption, that fructose floods the kidneys all at once. Dried fruits. Even worse. You're packing 4 or 5 servings of sugar into just a handful, and when your kidneys are already struggling, every gram matters. Do you see yourself in this story? Maybe you start your mornings with a natural smoothie thinking it's good for you. Be honest, how often have you done that? Drop a comment below because you're not alone. Most of my patients have made that same mistake before they understood what was really happening inside their blood. The good news is, this damage can be reversed when you switch to fruits that heal, instead of harm low in potassium, low in sugar, but packed with antioxidants that calm inflammation instead of feeding it. Because the truth is, not all fruits are villains. Some are silent killers, but others are quiet healers. And just knowing this isn't enough, because the next discovery completely changed how doctors look at diet and kidney recovery forever. For decades, medicine believed that once the kidneys began to fail, diet could do little to stop it. The focus was always on medication dialysis and waiting for things to get worse. But in 2023, one groundbreaking study shattered that belief and rewrote everything we thought we knew about kidney healing. Researchers followed over 800 to 400 adults with moderately elevated creatinine for 3 years. They weren't studying pills or surgeries, they were studying fruit. Not in a general eat healthy sense, but specifically which fruits people ate how often and in what rotation. What they found changed clinical nutrition forever. The participants who followed a fruit rotation plan, eating low-potassium, high-antioxidant fruits such as apples, blueberries, and grapes several times a week, maintained their kidney function 31% better than those who ate random healthy fruits like bananas and oranges. Even more astonishing, 67% of those who followed the plan saw their creatinine levels stabilize or even slightly improve, while the others continued to decline despite medication. The key wasn't cutting out fruit entirely. It was choosing the right kind in the right rhythm. By giving the kidneys gentle alternating support instead of daily overload, these patients allowed their filters to rest, repair, and recover. Imagine that the difference between dialysis and stability came down to something as simple as what fruit you put on your plate. When I first read this research, I felt the same shock my patients feel when I tell them. We've spent decades chasing cures in pharmacies while nature was quietly offering one in the produce aisle. That's why I tell everyone who will listen, prevention isn't found in a prescription, it's found in your daily habits. So if your kidneys are already whispering for help, this discovery could be your turning point. Because what these scientists proved is simple yet powerful. Your diet can either drown your kidneys in stress or give them the space to heal. But science didn't stop there. It went deeper, uncovering exactly which fruits have the greatest power to protect and repair your kidneys from within. And the first one on that list is probably sitting in your kitchen right now. But don't grab it just yet, because the reason it works will surprise you. You might look at an apple and think, how could something so simple hold that much power? Yet among all fruits, the humble apple stands out as one of the safest, most reliable allies for weakened kidneys. It's quiet, unassuming, and healing in ways science is only beginning to understand. A medium apple contains roughly 190 milligrams of potassium, less than half of what's in a banana. That means it delivers natural sweetness without overloading your blood with minerals your kidneys can't clear. But the real magic isn't just in its low potassium. It's in its fiber, especially a type called pectin. Pectin works like a natural magnet for toxins. It binds to waste products and excess phosphorus in your digestive tract, carrying them out of the body so your kidneys don't have to handle the entire burden alone. I once met a man named Robert, 62 years old, who swore by his apple ritual. After being told his kidney function had slipped into stage 3, he started eating one apple every morning with the peel on. Over 6 months, his creatinine stabilized, his energy returned, and even his doctor was surprised. It's just an apple. Robert laughed, but it feels like it's doing something right. He wasn't wrong, because what he was doing was giving his kidneys a daily break. Apples are also rich in quercetin and chlorogenic acid, 2 antioxidants, proven to reduce inflammation and oxidative stress inside kidney tissues. These compounds protect the delicate blood vessels that feed your nephrons, the tiny filters inside each kidney, from scarring and stiffening. Even more impressive, the apple's skin holds up to 6 times more antioxidants than the flesh, which is why eating it whole matters. And here's something most people overlook: apples have a low glycemic index. Their natural sugars release slowly, preventing the blood sugar spikes that often accelerate kidney damage, especially in diabetics. That slow release means steady energy balance metabolism and less oxidative strain on your filtration system. So yes, one apple a day may actually keep more than the doctor away. It might keep dialysis away too. But as powerful as apples are, they're only the first piece of the healing puzzle. Because the next fruit on this list doesn't just support your kidneys, it rebuilds them from within cell by cell with a strength you'd never expect from something so small. But just knowing about apples isn't enough. Because the next fruit, tiny, dark, and full of power, can do what even medicine struggles to achieve. If the apple is the gentle guardian of your kidneys, then blueberries are the microscopic warriors fighting on the front lines. Tiny, dark, and humble, yet inside those blue skins lies one of nature's strongest defenses against kidney inflammation and oxidative stress. That deep purple-blue color isn't just pretty, it's a sign of anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that travel through your bloodstream to reach your kidneys where they neutralize free radicals before they can damage your filtration cells. Think of them as tiny shields protecting your nephrons, the microscopic filters that clean your blood from being corroded by toxins. I had a patient once, Maria, who was always skeptical about superfoods. She laughed the first time I told her to eat blueberries instead of her morning melon. But 3 months later, her follow-up labs showed something remarkable. Her kidney function decline had slowed. She hadn't changed her medication, her lifestyle, or her exercise. The only thing she did differently was swap her sugary fruit bowl for a handful of blueberries every other morning. "Doctor," she said, "I didn't believe it could matter this much." And I told her that's because sometimes the smallest things create the biggest difference. Blueberries are naturally low in potassium, just 57 milligrams per half cup, which makes them one of the safest fruits for kidney patients. They're also low in phosphorus and sodium, meaning your kidneys don't have to fight to process them. But their real secret lies in their anti-inflammatory ability. Long-term studies show that people who eat blueberries 3 to 4 times a week experience a slower decline in kidney function compared to those who don't. Some even see small improvements in eGFR, a rare and encouraging sign of filtration recovery. What's even better is their accessibility. Frozen blueberries retain almost all their antioxidant power, so you don't need to chase expensive fresh ones. Blend them into oatmeal, add them to smoothies, or eat them plain. Each small handful becomes a quiet act of healing. And here's a bonus: most people miss blueberries improve insulin sensitivity. That means they help your body use glucose more efficiently, easing one of the biggest pressures on the kidney's uncontrolled blood sugar. They support 2 systems at once: metabolic health and filtration efficiency. So while apples help your kidneys rest, blueberries help them repair. They calm inflammation, strengthen the smallest blood vessels, and restore stability at the cellular level. They are quite literally nature's kidney armor, but the story doesn't stop there. Because while blueberries protect, there's another fruit that goes one step further. It doesn't just guard the kidneys, it awakens their own repair system from deep within. And the secret behind it isn't sugar or fiber or even antioxidants, it's a single compound once thought to exist only in wine. If blueberries are the body's tiny protectors, then grapes are the architects of repair. They don't just defend your kidneys, they help rebuild them from the inside out. And the secret lies in something that once made headlines for its connection to red wine, resveratrol. Now, before you reach for a bottle of wine, let me explain. The true healing power doesn't come from alcohol, it comes from the skin of red and purple grapes. That thin, glossy layer holds one of the most powerful natural compounds ever discovered. Resveratrol activates a protective protein in your body, known as SIRT1, a cellular guardian that reduces inflammation, slows aging, and enhances your kidneys' ability to repair themselves. I once worked with a retired firefighter named John. His kidney function had been slipping for years, and medication wasn't doing much. Instead of giving up, we tried a simple experiment: a small handful of red grape skin on 3 times a week. 6 months later, his labs told a new story. His creatinine stopped climbing, his swelling went down, and his energy came back. When he asked me why, I told him, because your cells finally remembered how to heal. Resveratrol improves blood flow inside the kidney, reduces inflammatory molecules, and strengthens the capillaries that feed your nephrons. In one study, patients who regularly ate red or purple grapes saw measurable improvements in filtration efficiency and inflammatory markers without any change in medication. For many, that meant more years before dialysis even became a conversation. And here's something most people don't realize: grapes are also over 80% water. That natural hydration helps your kidneys flush out toxins more efficiently without overworking them. It's a gentle rinse, not a flood. But moderation is key. About 15 to 20 grapes 2 or 3 times a week is the perfect balance between nourishment and safety. The darker the grape, the stronger the benefit. That's because darker skins contain more resveratrol, more antioxidants, and more of the compounds that tell your cells to protect themselves. But here's the catch: the skin is where the magic lives. Peel it, and you lose the very thing that makes grapes healing. Fresh grapes are best. Juice and wine lose most of these benefits through processing and added sugars. So if blueberries build protection, grapes rebuild structure. They breathe life back into the kidney's repair machinery quietly, consistently, and naturally. But even with all this healing power, there's one fruit that breaks the pattern completely. It was once banned for kidney patients because of its tropical sweetness, yet new research shows it might actually save them. And what it does inside the kidney is nothing short of remarkable. For years, doctors told kidney patients to stay away from pineapple. Too sweet, they said. Too tropical. But new science is rewriting that rule, and what it reveals about pineapple might change how you see this fruit forever. Because hidden inside that golden flesh is an enzyme so powerful, it can melt inflammation from the inside out. Its name is bromelain. Bromelain works like a cleanup crew for your kidneys. When kidney tissue becomes inflamed, tiny protein fragments and cellular debris clog the filtration system, making it harder for your blood to flow freely. Bromelain breaks down those blockages, dissolving the gunk that slows your kidneys down. It's like opening a jammed filter and letting clean water run again. I remember a patient named Helen, 65, who loved pineapple but had avoided it for years out of fear. Her potassium was stable, but she was told no tropical fruits. When I showed her the new data, she smiled and said, "Doctor, I've been waiting for this one." We started small, half a cup of fresh pineapple twice a week. After a few months, her inflammation markers dropped, her appetite returned, and even her complexion looked brighter. "It's like my body woke up," she said. That's the quiet brilliance of bromelain. It doesn't just soothe inflammation. It helps the kidneys release fluid more efficiently by gently increasing urine output. That means less swelling, better detoxification, and less strain on the filtration system. On top of that, pineapple is rich in vitamin C, giving the body an extra layer of antioxidant protection against oxidative stress, one of the main drivers of kidney aging. But there's one crucial detail: the bromelain, that does the healing lives only in fresh pineapple. Canned or processed versions lose most of it during heat treatment and pasteurization. So if you want the healing power, you've got to go raw, fresh chunks, not syrup or juice. And despite its tropical sweetness, pineapple is surprisingly kidney safe. 1 cup contains around 180 milligrams of potassium, placing it among the lowest potassium tropical fruits you can eat. When eaten in moderation, half a cup 2 to 3 times a week, it supports kidney recovery without spiking blood sugar or potassium levels. So far, you've seen fruits that protect, repair, and cleanse. But the true secret to kidney healing isn't just about which fruits you eat, it's about how you combine them. Because even the healthiest fruit can turn harmful if your body doesn't get the rhythm it needs to rest and recover. And that rhythm, the simple weekly pattern that tells your kidneys when to work and when to heal, is the breakthrough most people never hear about. Healing isn't just about what you eat, it's about when and how you eat it. Just like your heart beats in rhythm and your lungs breathe in cycles, your kidneys also have a rhythm of recovery. They can't repair themselves if they're overloaded every day with the same nutrients, even from healthy foods. That's where the fruit rotation plan comes in, a simple weekly pattern that gives your kidneys the balance and rest they desperately need. Think of it like music. Too much of one note becomes noise. But when the notes alternate in harmony, it creates a melody, and that's what your body responds to. By rotating fruits that detoxify, protect, and rebuild, you prevent overload of any single mineral, while still feeding your kidneys a steady flow of antioxidants, fiber, and hydration. Here's how it works. Start your week with apples on Mondays and Thursdays. Their pectin binds toxins and gives your kidneys a lighter workload. On Tuesdays and Fridays, move to blueberries, small doses of anthocyanins to calm inflammation and repair filtration cells. Midweek on Wednesdays, bring in red or purple grapes. Their resveratrol boosts blood flow and activates the kidney's natural repair pathways. Then on the weekend, refresh your system with fresh pineapple. Bromelain clears inflammation and helps your body flush waste gently and efficiently. This rotation keeps your fruit intake varied and balanced. Your body never gets stuck in one nutrient pattern, and your kidneys get the rhythm they need, alternating between rest, recovery, and renewal. It's a natural, low-cost way to support healing without complicated diets or expensive supplements. Even early-stage kidney patients who follow this pattern often report better energy, clearer thinking, and in many cases stabilized creatinine levels over time. But here's the real magic: consistency. Healing doesn't happen in a single meal. It happens in patterns, quiet repetition that teaches your body how to find balance again. Each day's choice becomes a message to your kidneys: you're safe, you can rest, you can heal. Still, even the best rhythm can collapse overnight if the wrong foods sneak back in. Because some fruits, the ones we've been told are healthy staples, can destroy weeks of progress in just a few bites. And that's what you must know next: the fruits that look innocent but push your kidneys closer to dialysis. The ones hiding in plain sight, waiting on your table right now. Now let's talk about the ones that undo everything. The fruits that look harmless, even healthy, but quietly overload your kidneys and push them closer to dialysis. They don't come with warning labels, and you've probably eaten one this week without realizing what it's doing inside your blood. Bananas are the biggest offenders. One medium banana carries over 400 milligrams of potassium, enough to stress a weakened kidney that's already struggling to filter minerals. For someone with reduced kidney function, it's like pouring salt water on a fire that's just beginning to calm. Potassium builds up silently, and when it crosses the threshold, it can trigger muscle weakness, numbness, or even sudden heart rhythm changes that strike without warning. Then there are oranges and mangoes, sweet, refreshing, packed with vitamins, but also dangerously high in both sugar and potassium. They create a double hit, overloading your blood with minerals and spiking fructose, which inflames kidney tissue from the inside. For healthy kidneys, that's fine. But when your filters are fragile, every spike becomes a small cut, and over time, those cuts add up. Melons might seem innocent, too full of water, right? But they also pack a heavy potassium load. I once had a patient who swore by her hydrating melon detox. She was eating 3 cups a day, believing she was helping her kidneys flush toxins. Within 2 months, her lab results showed the opposite: rising creatinine, swelling ankles, and fatigue that wouldn't go away. Hydration is good, yes, but hydration from the wrong fruit can drown the kidneys instead of cleansing them. And don't forget the hidden culprits: dried fruits and fruit juices. Without their natural water content, dried fruits concentrate sugar into dense little bombs. Just a handful of raisins or dried mango slices can equal 4 servings of sugar. As for fruit juice, strip away the fiber and you're left with a liquid candy that hits your kidneys as hard as soda. Most people think it's safe because it's natural. But natural doesn't mean harmless, not when your kidneys are already fighting to survive. If you've been eating any of these regularly, don't panic. Awareness is power. Once you know, you can pivot, and your body will start to recover almost immediately. Because the moment you stop feeding your kidneys the wrong things, they finally get the chance to breathe again. But this is where the story takes a hopeful turn. Because when you remove these harmful fruits, something amazing begins to happen inside your body. Your blood chemistry shifts, your energy returns, and your kidneys, those two silent fighters, start to heal themselves in ways that once seemed impossible. And what happens next inside your body is the twist no one expects. It's the moment your healing truly begins. The moment you stop overloading your kidneys with high potassium and high sugar fruits, something remarkable begins to unfold inside you. It doesn't happen overnight, but quietly, like a sunrise spreading through your bloodstream. Within just a few days, potassium levels start to normalize. The pressure inside your heart and kidneys begins to ease. Your filtration system, once gasping for relief, finally exhales. As those mineral levels settle, your kidneys regain their natural rhythm, filtering waste more efficiently, balancing fluids, and releasing the toxins that once made you feel bloated and fatigued. It's as if your body finally remembers how to breathe clean again. The inflammation that used to choke your nephrons begins to fade, allowing tiny blood vessels to reopen. With better circulation comes better oxygen flow, and with oxygen comes life. Patients often tell me the first thing they notice isn't a number on a lab test, it's how they feel. Clearer mind, lighter energy, less swelling, better sleep. That's not coincidence, it's chemistry. As potassium and fructose overloads disappear, blood sugar stabilizes, oxidative stress declines, and the kidneys can focus on healing instead of surviving. Slowly but surely, creatinine stabilizes, sometimes even dipping lower. The numbers begin to move in the right direction, but more importantly, you begin to feel alive again. I've seen this transformation more times than I can count. A man who could barely walk to his mailbox now takes morning walks with his grandchildren. A woman who dreaded dialysis appointments now looks forward to her next checkup. Their secret wasn't some expensive supplement or miracle cure. It was giving their kidneys the conditions they needed to recover, balance, rest, and the right foods in the right rhythm. That's the quiet miracle of the human body. When you stop hurting it, it starts helping you. When you give it what it truly needs, it responds with strength you didn't know you had. Every clean meal, every balanced day adds up one small victory at a time. But we're not done yet. Because the power to heal doesn't just come from food, it comes from the choices you make every day. The next step is about protecting that progress, maintaining that balance, and learning how to live in a way that keeps your kidneys strong for years to come. And in the next chapter, we reveal something almost nobody talks about: 3 common healthy breakfast habits that silently destroy kidney health. Because sometimes it's not what you eat. It's when you eat it that determines whether your kidneys survive or fail. I know this journey can feel overwhelming. If you've been told your kidneys are weak or your creatinine is rising, it's easy to feel like time is running out. But let me remind you, your body is not your enemy. It's fighting for you every single day. All it needs is your support, your patience, and your belief that healing is still possible. Start small, choose one better fruit this week, drink more clean water, give your body a rhythm of rest instead of overload. Every tiny step you take is a message to your kidneys that says, I'm with you. We're in this together. If this video helped you understand your health a little better, don't let the knowledge end here. Save this video so you can come back to it anytime and subscribe to the channel, because each week I share new medical insights, science-backed tips, and practical ways to protect your kidneys before it's too late. Turn on notifications and stay connected to a community that's learning to heal smarter, not harder. And above all, don't lose hope. I've seen kidneys recover when everyone thought it was impossible. I've seen numbers stabilize, lives turn around, and patients regain their freedom, one meal one day, one choice at a time. Your kidneys have fought for you since the day you were born. Now it's your turn to fight for them. Stay consistent, stay curious, and never forget, healing doesn't begin with perfection. It begins with persistence.